We begin, after previous events, in near-future London, England, Great Britain, where technology has undergone a rapid acceleration as a result of the proliferation of automation and artificial intelligence, or AI, which has effectively improved Britain's economy at the cost of many blue and white-collar jobs. The use of cryptocurrency has also become abundant, with an official currency by the name of ETO, or e-tokens, having almost replaced the pound sterling entirely within London. Augmented and virtual reality, or AR and VR, systems are commonplace across the city, accompanied by an increase in drones and electric vehicles, an established 6G mobile network, and the introduction of driverless cars. The majority of these advancements are enhanced through the use of CTOS, or Central Operating System, the centralized computer network developed by technology company Bloom. DedSec, a hacker group consisting of various branches across the world, fights against authoritarian regimes and other groups that utilize CTOS for their own selfish goals at the expense of ordinary citizens. The London branch of DedSec, led by Sabine Brandt and her newly reprogrammed Bloom AI, Bagley, detect armed intruders planting explosives in the Houses of Parliament. DedSec operative Dalton Wolfe goes to defuse the bombs and discovers the intruders are members of a rogue hacker group called 0 Day. Although Dalton manages to prevent Parliament's destruction, he is gunned down and killed by drones commanded by 0 Day's leader, who detonates additional explosives around London and orders an attack on DedSec's main hideout, forcing Sabine to shut down Bagley and go into hiding. In the wake of the bombings, the British government contract Albion, a private military company that takes over as law enforcement across London and supersedes the British government's control over the city. Albion is tasked with restoring order to London and hunting down DedSec, who are framed by 0 Day and held responsible for the chaos, effectively causing social and political unrest. Months later, Albion enforces the law without political oversight, transforming London into a surveillance state with the aid of the CTOS network and SIRS, or Signals Intelligence Response, an intelligence agency which consolidates all of Britain's intelligence networks. As a result, citizens have their personal liberties severely restricted and their lives constantly monitored, while those who question Albion's methods are either convicted or deported to continental Europe, and organised crime is also on the rise, despite Albion's presence. Although most DedSec members have been arrested or killed by Albion, Sabine resurfaces when she finds a new recruit through CTOS, whom she sends to reactivate both the group's safe house and Bagley within it. DedSec slowly rebuilds their strength as they find more recruits who, under Sabine's coordination and with Bagley's help, liberate London's boroughs by encouraging citizens to rise up in defiance of their oppressors. During this time, DedSec investigates the 0 Day bombings and discovers that both Albion's CEO, Nigel Cass, along with Clan Kelly, London's largest crime syndicate, led by Mary Kelly, which has monopolised the use of the dark web, conducting human and organ trafficking operations, were involved. Both groups are taking advantage of London's current situation for their own ends. Kelly is using people from Albion's deportation centres for her trafficking operations, while Cass plans to enforce peace across London with an oppressive, automated drone army that can identify and neutralise threats before they occur. After their investigation reaches a dead end, DedSec decides to follow other leads, such as the corrupt technology corporation Broca Tech, whose CEO, Sky Larson, has been conducting inhumane experiments to convert human minds into enslaved AI programs. DedSec tracks her down to Bloom's underground facility, where they interrupt her conversion of her brain into a free AI, must choose between killing her or allowing her to complete the process, and decide to allow it to complete, freeing her to continue working on new technologies. Another lead, Richard Malik, is a SIRS whistleblower who enlists DedSec's help in proving that SIRS leader, Emma Child, was behind the 0 Day bombings. However, they discover that he's trying to take over SIRS, which he accomplishes after killing Child in an explosion, while framing DedSec for it. DedSec then tracks him down to his secret apartment, where Bagley assists in his capture, before bringing him back to DedSec's headquarters, where he's imprisoned in their holding cell. Afterward, DedSec learn of an Infiltrator slave auction hosted by Kelly, where they discover that she helped 0 Day smuggle their explosives into the country. After gathering enough evidence to get Kelly convicted, DedSec and Metropolitan Police Service, or MPS, Detective Caitlin Lau attempt to capture her, but after realizing that Kelly will walk free regardless, they leave her to be killed by her now freed slaves. DedSec next sabotages Cass's drone project and exposes his crimes to the public, prompting him to take refuge at Albion's headquarters within the Tower of London. Fearing Cass will attempt to retaliate against his enemies, DedSec storms the tower, infiltrates the underground facility, fights through his advanced technology there, and finally kills him. As DedSec celebrates their successes, Zero Day hacks the group, stealing all of the advanced technology they've acquired while hunting down the various factions along the way. Tracing the hack, they discover that Sabine is Zero Day, responsible for the bombings and Dalton's death, and that Cass helped her to create the chaos which would allow Albion to seize control of London, before double-crossing her to avoid her potential meddling in his plans, by attempting to kill her. After surviving his attack, Sabine restarted DedSec in response, using them to exact revenge upon Cass, while obtaining the technology needed to act out her grand scheme of destroying Britain's technological society, forcing it to go back to Day Zero, before rebuilding it from the ground up, free of corruption. DedSec discovers that Sabine intends to accomplish this by using the stolen technology to create a software update patch for Bagley and take control of Britain's CTOS infrastructure, plunging the country into chaos, in the hope that it will force the society to forego technology and restart. To prevent this, Bagley agrees to be shut down entirely, and begins guiding DedSec through the process. While narrowly avoiding the chaos in the streets caused by Sabine's Bagley patch, a DedSec operative goes to hack Bloom's tower, in order to prevent Bagley from accessing its backups to restore itself after being shut down. There, she's confronted by Sabine and her drones, but the operative manages to surprise Sabine by suddenly collapsing the portion of the tower they're standing on, just barely managing to get to safety while Sabine falls to her apparent death. Meanwhile, another operative succeeds in shutting down Bagley's primary server at Broca Tech, deactivating it, along with its corrupted functionality across Britain, ending the crisis. While the British government reviews its contract with Albion and the MPS begins work to resume operations, DedSec finally clears their names and are praised for exposing considerable crimes and corruption across London. Afterward, DedSec manages to restore their reprogrammed Bagley to its pre-shutdown state, and continues to rely upon it to assist them in dealing with the remnants of criminal elements, as well as tying up other loose ends, all around London.